Hello, everyone. This is Centric Property from Centric Property Anolbe. Okay, so today, as promised, right, we have a special guest, and her name is Suzanne Loh. Okay, Suzanne Loh is the co-founder of Anolbe, as well as Stories That Matter, and we are very glad to have her here today with us. So, Suzanne, we are already on live. Say hello.
Hi, everybody. Anna, thank you so much for inviting me to your show for tonight.
Okay. So Suzanne, actually, I've heard some things about you. That is, you were a journalist and you even went overseas. But then again, now you're a co-founder of Anolbe. And then I also understand you are having this video club, which is very exciting for people who wants to brand their business. So right now, do you mind if I check with you exactly what is your profession to share with our audience?
Right. Okay. I'm actually a business owner for Anolbe, which is a video content marketing company. And I co-founded with my business partner, Peter. So we have been in business for over 2 years. And what we do is that we create video content and stories to help connect the brand voices to the needs and aspirations of their audiences and customers. Yeah. At the same time, we have also been doing professional live streaming for events, especially during COVID-19. So what happened in June is that we see that there has been a rising demand for people to create their own content because everybody is tied down by the regulations, by COVID-19, by all the social distancing measures. So we decided that we want to do something more purposeful in our business. So that is why we started the Stories That Matter Facebook, where we launched alongside with a 8-part video storytelling series via Facebook Live, get people to come in and join us in the learning process on how to create their stories in the different video formats. Yeah, like talk shows, interviews, and so on. And when the show ended in August, we decided that there's an increased demand and increased interest in it. So what we did is that we decided to expand this learning space by setting up a VC club, which we call Video Creation for short. Yeah, to create this platform so that people can come in together and as a community support group, grow together in this group to help one another to create their own stories. So what we do is that we'll give them a formula, for a very simple and doable formula to use to script their personal stories, to call out their personal story idea. And then from then on, moving forwards, to show them how you can turn that script into a production script for shooting. Yeah, so we'll be teaching a lot of things. Yeah, so I think so far that has been a positive response from our learners, and yeah, we're very happy with the development.
Okay, so it's very exciting for you to share this thing about Stories That Matter and the video club that's coming. But Suzanne, I'm sure before all this began, you might have some personal experience of how these stories can come into life. Do you mind if you share with us, right, with our audience, a bit about your background and how you came into this industry?
Okay, well, I've actually been in the field of communications for 16 years before I became a business owner. And the work that I've been doing in those years involved a lot on editorial, like writing for Retail Trade magazine, starting a quarterly magazine from scratch for a non-profit organization. And I've also moved on to the public sector, where I did a lot of work on CorpCom's internal communications, as well as building relationships with stakeholders like the customers and staff. So all these things, right, actually give me a lot of enriching experience on to be a communicator. But if I were to turn back the clock and look at myself as a communicator from the perspective of myself as a child, I would definitely tell myself then that no, this person cannot be me. Yeah, because you see, when I was a kid growing up, from 6 years old onwards, I felt I was actually living in a cocoon. I was living in a cocoon of limiting beliefs. I had a lot of low self-esteem then, and I was always on the verge of, I was always running away from difficult problems, from conflict. Yeah, and all these things, right, all these negative beliefs and thoughts created a very big stumbling block for me, because I was not able to go full scale to develop myself, to be free in expressing myself. And that led me to misunderstand my dad. Yeah. Because especially when he was a man of few words, he didn't know how to express his love or concern for us. So the turning point came when he passed away when I was in my mid-20s. And when I learned that he has left with me and my mom a legacy that he has slowly built up over those years, without telling me anything, I was just shocked. I felt that I had greatly misunderstood him. I felt that I had did something very wrong. I was so devastated. And just to cut the long story short, that really became my wake-up call and got me into making the decision on wanting to step out of my cocoon and stepping into the space of communications where I could relearn everything on how to communicate with people over again. And that was why 1 year after his death, I make up my mind to fly to Perth to do my degree in mass communications, because I thought that is actually the best way to push myself beyond the boundaries, to get myself into a different country, a different environment altogether, so that I can learn to speak up and to speak and to communicate with people. Yeah, so that was my starting point, of how all this came. Yeah.
It's very brave of you. You flew alone to Perth for 4 years, is it?
I flew with my mom for the first year, but because she's not an Australian citizen, so she still had to go back to Singapore after a few months of staying. Yeah, but it was Australia was the place where I learned to pick myself up. I learned to find peace with myself, with my past, and I learned to seek my faith over again at the same time. Yeah, so that was a very defining chapter of my life.
Wow. Yeah. Actually, I think it's very brave of you to fly alone over to Perth, although your mom did accompany you on the first flight. But to stay there for 4 years, right? It's really a long time.
4 years.
And it's not easy, because I know that Perth, they also have racism and stuff, right? So it wasn't easy for us Chinese to be down there surviving.
It's not so bad in Perth. Yeah. Okay. But that's still all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, Suzanne, do you mind if you can share with us also? How about your views on the current market situation from your own perspective?
Well, I would say I would agree with most of us that it's been a very challenging time for the business and for us particular sectors like aviation, tourism. I won't say much about the market condition now, because a lot of this has already been discussed in the media. Yeah, but all I want to say about COVID-19 was that it has really, really created a lot of radical shifts in the way we work, in the way we relate to people, and even in the way we look at our own lives. Yeah, especially in our relationship with people. Of course, many of us would agree that during the lockdown, it has actually gotten us to stay at home with our families more often. And I believe that many of us would have experienced a kind of awakening where they started to treasure the value of having a family with them, right? And it was also during that time that, during the circuit breaker, that my business partner and me got to rethink about our business and see, what is one way that we can reinvent ourselves to get the business going, right? That's one thing too. And also to find something, to kind of like find a niche, to work on another niche that would help us to develop our passion in video storytelling at the same time. Yeah, so that is actually the period of time when Stories That Matter was born. Yeah. And we are so glad that we feel that we're moving towards the right angle, because people have been telling us, especially those who are in the community of Stories That Matter, that they are actually seeing beginning to see clarity in their own stories and how it's going to be related to the way they would share when they talk about their product and service and their cause. Yeah. So I think what happened to what I believe about COVID-19 is that it has actually made us realize that whatever we do in life, right, human relationships is still the most important. Yeah. Whatever we market, whatever we sell, whatever we share in social media, people want to see a human face. People want to see a real, genuine, authentic message. Yeah. Coming from our fellow human beings. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my sentiment.
Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. So, bearing in mind that during the COVID season, you all have actually evolved your business in a way and having a new business model is in that aspect. Okay. So now
Yes.
I just want to ask you a tricky question. The tricky question is, what is the most unforgettable challenge as a journalist based on your background, and how did you actually overcome?
All right. I was in the space of journalism for about 2 years. It was that was my first job after I graduated from mass communications. I won't say there were any life and death situations like what journalists in the reporting in the war front were experiencing, definitely. But I would say that the biggest ones would be those days when I had to travel overseas to do reporting assignments. For instance, I remembered there was a time, that was around 1994, I had to fly alone to Hong Kong to cover a 1 week international retail fair, trade fair over there. And the only thing I was given from my editor was that just go there and file the stories. Yeah, so I had to rely a lot on my own gut feeling, on what I feel is newsworthy. And I had to talk to a lot of people, a lot of exhibitors over there to get a sense of the stories that they share and also what would make a good story angle, from the interviews that I did. And the other assignment that I had was flying alone over to the Philippines. That was actually my last assignment before I left my job to go over to the public sector, and that was to do a cover story for Shumat Inc. The Shumat Inc. at that time was the largest departmental chains company in Philippines. And again, I had to rely on my intuition, to see how best could I do to craft a cover story with the interviews that I had with the CEO and the chairman of the company, and also looking at their retail stores and finding an angle to project the company, the organization in the most, I would say, in the most presentable way. Yeah. So those were very unforgettable learning experiences and I had. And I want to thank one person in my life who had given me the courage to go into this field, and that's my mom. And I still remember to this day that the one advice that she had left with me in my younger years as an adult was that whatever you do in life will not be affected by what people say about you. Just go forth and do what you think is right. And that advice has stuck with me for so many years till now, even when she's already gone.
Well, very impressive, Suzanne. Actually, I just noticed that you're not just any journalist, but a journalist who flew to cover stories in Asia, Philippines, Hong Kong, and even studied in Perth. So you do have experience of knowing what is the get around in this Asia region very well. I truly believe in that. So your mom is the next person that actually sort of mentored you, like you mentioned, right? So
Yes,
would you mind sharing a bit about your any quotes of your mom that you wish to share over here?
I would not say quote. I would say a lesson. Yeah, there was one lesson that she had taught me as I was in my adulthood after I came back from the studies.
So is this also like the thing that actually that keeps you going when the going gets tough?
Well, Well, in a way, she has, I would say it's more to do with perspective. Yeah, and there's one thing that she shared about perspective to me, and she mentioned that it's a very simple an analogy that she used, but I've actually worked within my best ability to keep to the lesson that just taught me, and that is, when you read a newspaper, don't believe everything of what is said in one newspaper. Go and read a few editions of newspapers covering the same piece of news to get a different perspective. And then from there, you form your own opinion of the issue discussed.
Oh, very wise of
So
her. So
basically,
actually,
yes. So basically what she's saying is that when we live each day in our lives, right, do not be burdened, do not be tied down by limiting beliefs. Always keep an open mind to face up to the challenges, to embrace new changes that's happening in our lives. Yeah, because we never know what life has to offer to us.
I see. So is this also your
So
same quote of life to share with our audience here today?
I would say that the quote that I wanted to share with my audience would be a different one, but I would leave it to the last. Yeah.
Okay, can. So
Yes.
now I have a question to ask you. Okay. So like I mentioned just now, what is the one main thing that keeps you actually going?
I think the one thing that keeps me going, I would say there are two, is faith and positivity. Yeah. Yeah. As I mean, I've been in this field of entrepreneurship for about 2 years plus, and I've come to understand the fact that entrepreneurship is never a bed of roses. If you're somebody who is comfortable, who prefers to have a predictable life, and who prefers to be in your comfort zone, don't go into entrepreneurship. Because in entrepreneurship, there are always risks to take. You never know what kind of challenges will come onto you every day. Yeah. But the thing is that when it happens to me, and when things do happen, what I'll do is that I will give myself some quiet space. I will take a deep breath, and then I will look at the issue to see whether it can be done better. And what good can come out of this issue? I'll try to look at it from a positive side. In other words, what I'll do if I happen to have this situation is I will make the effort to reframe my mind. Because I feel that that's the only way that can get me going onto the very tough route and to get myself to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that is the one thing that keeps me going on. And of course, faith is one thing. Faith is the one thing that has also been giving me the guiding light and that the inner strength to push me forward. Yeah. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
I see. So what I see in you is the calmness to be able to actually analyze the situation and judge the one thing from different facets of life to tackle the situation. You don't just give up easily. I see resilience in you. And then, of course, I believe this, looking at it from different perceptions, I believe this one also stems from what your mom has given to you. Yeah. And
Yes.
then when you said there is always light at the end of the tunnel, it just shows us how positive you are towards your life as well as your career and business. Okay. So Suzanne, don't mind, I just check with you. Okay, this one question.
Yeah. Right.
What does legacy actually mean to you?
The word legacy is actually it's a word of a very deep meaning, because to me, I would tie the word legacy to mean creating something that's very precious that we want to give to somebody we love and care. And it's a very difficult question for me at this point of time, because I have no immediate family that I could relate to anymore. My parents have already passed on. But what I could certainly say is that right now I'm actually helping people, helping organizations to create their own legacy by helping them to create their video stories that would motivate others, their audiences, that would create communities and to help them to promote their causes. So, of course, in the long term, I do have one legacy that I've always aspired to fulfill, and that is one day, if I were to succeed in my business, the moment I succeed in my business, I would set up a trust fund for online education for the disadvantaged women and children. Because I feel that, personally, throughout my life, I have a strong passion for education. This is something that's passed down to my dad, honestly speaking. When I was young, even though my dad rarely spoke with us, he would always remind me to strive hard and go for higher education, because to him, education is the best way for us to go on to become a better person of ourselves, yeah, and to be the best version of who we are. It's not just about having an education to get a better job. It's more than that. It's about getting education to get a better perspective of life. Yeah.
Very well said, Suzanne. I think we all can feel your kindness and your big heart to actually give to the less fortunate. So, yes, I also agree that legacy is not just about money. It's also about
Right.
a kind of spirit and, important codes of life to pass on to the next generation or people that you love and
Yes.
care about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, I think I can ask you this question. Okay,
Sure.
what is your code of life to actually share with the audience and to motivate and inspire them tonight?
There is this quote that I felt very connected to, because it's been running in my life, yeah, for many years. And this quote is, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about dancing in the rain. Because I find that a lot of times we tend to fall into the comfort zone of avoiding conflict, of avoiding challenges, because we are afraid of being rejected. We are afraid of being castricized, of being talked down to. And I used to be in this situation when I was the younger version of me. And then I realized how this has done a lot of harm to myself and to the people I loved. So now I've come to realize the wisdom of this quote, and I would use this as a guiding quote to help me to move towards to create a breakthrough in my life. And of course, I could see that, or we could all see that when we want to have a better life, we have to go through a lot of roller coasters, coping with failures, coping with the risks involved, coping with a lot of uncertainties. But I feel that this is all good, because at the end of the day, right, it is from these failures that we gather strength to reflect on what we've done, how we can do better, and then move on to become a better person, a better version of ourselves. And I'm so glad that I'm in the space of video storytelling now, because it gives me a chance to pay it forward of what I have learned from my life, and to help other people to use video storytelling to motivate the people that they want to impact as well. Yeah. So I think in this light, my journey of finding a higher purpose is almost coming to a full circle. Yeah.
Very beautiful quote you're giving us. I especially like the part of dancing in the rain. Yeah, life should be enjoyed in a way like that, instead of always thinking about the risk involved. And then we shut ourselves out from all opportunities that could be possible. And for all you know, you might do even better, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Suzanne, I know today actually you do have something more to share with us regarding your business, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yes, we are actually holding a free introductory session on this coming Monday, 7th of September, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. to get people to come and experience our course, our online program for VC Club. And it's basically if you're somebody who are looking for an avenue to create your fund, a simple way to create your own videos to promote your product, your service, or your course, then this is actually the right space for you to come in and just listen to what we have to share. And what we'll be sharing is we'll share with you some simple formulas on how you can use it to craft your own stories. And we also be sharing a bit more on visual writing, how you can actually use words, use pictures, and tonality to help bring the characters in the stories to life, as well as techniques that you'll find useful for your shooting and editing. So all you need to do is very simple. Register via the Zoom link that is below the space that you see in your screen, below the video space, and also to click on the link that leads to our Stories That Matter Instagram. So what happens is once you click on the link, that will bring you to our quiz page in the Instagram, where you get to answer a couple of questions that will give you a rough idea on what we're going to share on this Monday night. And for those of you who have completed these two processes, we have a very special surprise for you. A lot of times, right, when we do videos, I think one of the challenges that we face is that we cannot hold our phone properly. The hand will shake, and sometimes we'll be wondering, okay, what's the best way to hold it in the proper frame? So what you see here is actually a smartphone rig, where you can install the phone here with your mic and the light here. You can hold this to actually do your vlogs. And what this gives you is that it enables you to have all the necessary features inside of the lighting and your audio, and of course your phone as well, and to do it with a lot more steadiness, so that you don't have to have the problem of having a shaky angle when you capture your vlogs wherever you go. So do stay tuned do click onto the Zoom link, and if you want to stand a chance to win this prize, and that is the surprise that we're going to offer for all of you who are taking part.
Okay, so I hope my friends, whom are a lot of agents, have also heard this from Suzanne. I believe in this new age world, right, where everybody is going online to check out for videos and postings on Facebook and Instagram, right? Stories does sell. In fact, when the story is good enough, people just come to you, and you don't have to spend so much money on things like property guru. So we feel the pain.
Yes.
We feel the pain. Okay, so if you are looking for organic leads like this from your Facebook, from your Instagram, then you really need to work hard at your story crafting. And now Suzanne, with her Stories That Matter and under company Anolbe, right, they are giving such classes. Time being is for free, right, Suzanne? Time being is for free, right?
Yes, okay, at this point of time it's for free. So that's why I really encourage all of you to quickly come forward and experience the whole learning process. And get to feel how you can see whether this is a system that fits you in helping you to craft a story.
Yes. So what are you waiting for? Just click on the link, okay, which is this one that we're showing right here for the Zoom, right? Then you get to learn at the same time. And if you're diligent enough, you also get to win the rig. Suzanne, can you show the rig one more time?
Sure, no problem. I'm going to turn on the lights. So there's supposed to be a nail here, but never mind. So this is how it looks like when you do your.
Can hold it up higher than the banner, because the banner is quite thick. So you can hold it a bit higher. To the right in front of your face, we can't see. You have to.
So this is how it will look like.
You try to position it a bit higher, because I think with the light cannot see your rig.
Okay.
You want to show the rig, right? Okay, so Suzanne is going to give away this rig totally for free.
Yes.
So if you are really looking forward to have a breakthrough in your business, have something different to attract your clients, then look out for this one. You have nothing to lose. I tell you, there's nothing to lose. Okay, and on top of that, a lot of agents have difficulty crafting their own stories and creating their own branding story. So why not look for Suzanne and her Anolbe team to give you that push? Yeah. Okay. So this is the link for you to register, and if you would like to find out more about Suzanne and her team, you can also click on this https://www.instagram.com/stories that matter. So this is the place where you can find out more about them as well. Okay.
Just to add on, right, this Instagram page link is actually for people to click on and take part in the quiz. Yeah, to give them more exposure in what's in store for them. Right. So what we would strongly encourage is for them to take a bit of time. It's just 2 hours for this Monday session to click onto the Zoom link. For them to attend the session this Monday night to get a sense of the learning process. And then from there, we will be able to, for each program, we're going to run for about 4 weeks. So we're going to run it on a weekly basis. So what's going to happen is the first week will be an introduction session. And then as the weeks progresses, we'll go deeper and deeper in sharing with you more ideas on how to script your story according to your life events. And so that's what we're going to share. And also how we can make the best use of what technology has to offer to us to help us to shoot our stories in a more creative way. Yeah.
Okay, so right now, Suzanne, do you mind if there is anyone who would like to ask Suzanne and her team any questions? We welcome you to comment below, and then we'll welcome your questions so that Suzanne may perhaps share with you as much as she can, or she can take it with you offline. Okay, type in your comments right now. Let's wait a while and see. Okay.
I'm going to share our Gmail account as well. Now, if any one of you have any questions on this coming show that we're doing, the free learning session, right, you can write to storiesThatMatter@gmail.com. So I'm just going to spell it out. It's STORIES TATMATTER@gmail.com.
Let me see. Is it like? Is that correct?
Okay, let me just take a look. Yeah, that's correct. Let me see. Let me just see.
So if you're too shy to ask right now, you can also choose to be a keyboard warrior and type to Suzanne and her team and let her address your problems. Yeah, for all you know, you'll be getting queries every day, So just by sharing on your Facebook and Instagram, which is mostly organic leads. Okay. Let's check if there's anyone interested.
It's Anna is TAT, not THAT.
Oh, sorry. Hang on a second.
Yes. Right. It's TAT.
So the stories that matter, this one is not right, huh? TAT, is it?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Is it like that?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Okay, so this will be the email for you to email to her and then check with her any queries or concerns that you might have and see how the team can provide you with solutions and ideas. Okay?
Yeah. So just very briefly to add on as well. After we guide you with the scripting of the stories, what we will be doing is we'll be picking on a few stories to work with our team and see how we can develop that into a group project for shoots. Yeah. So every one of us will be involved in also learning how to turn your video story script into a production script that you can use to plan for your shoots. And then thereafter, right, we will guide you through the production part. And at the end of the day, right, we'll also teach you a very simple way to do your video edits. So it's actually a one-stop learning hub for those of you who want to create your own videos. And I think this is the best time because everybody is looking for authentic content to relate to in all areas of our lives. So this is really the best time for you to think seriously about creating your own stories and work with us to help you become a compelling storyteller through videos.
So thank you so much, Suzanne. I heard that actually, from what I know, I've done before. Okay, some videos can easily cost us agents like $600 to $800 for smaller units of condominiums, just for that
Right.
video of lesser than 3 minutes. And sometimes after the production team has given to us, we're still not happy with it. So how nice it will be if you have full control to actually do it yourself with the help of Suzanne and her team. Whereby they will be teaching you and guiding you how to craft that story out, how to present out the most attractive and impactful visualization to your customers and audience online. I think that will amplify even more and give even more exposure to your business, right, as a marketer online. So
Yes,
I
sure.
really hope that you all will grab this opportunity to ask as many questions as you want tonight, or otherwise, do contact Suzanne and her team at stories@the matter@gmail.com with the email address below. Or let me flash again if you have missed it. This is the link for the lesson, okay, the free lesson at this Zoom link. So you can go online to register. I'll also add it into our comments box later so that you can just pinch it
Okay.
from there. Then the last
Thank you,
one on
Anna.
the flash, last one on the flash is on this Instagram account of theirs, so that you can actually be connected with Anolbe and Suzanne for your business. Okay. Is there anything else you wish to add, Suzanne, for tonight?
That's all I have to say. I just want to thank you once again for inviting me, Anna, and also to I hope that my sharing would be an inspiration to those of you who are seeking for a new purpose in your life and you're facing difficulties. Just push on and move on with your higher purpose and do what you love to do. Yeah, that's what all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Suzanne, for your sharing tonight. Because actually, right now in this COVID period, whereby everybody is feeling so down, right? All your quotes of life, like "Do not be afraid of the storm, but just to dance in the rain," and there is light at the end of the tunnel, really, really touches our hearts. And the fact that you're now even giving free lessons to people, right? It just shows how generous you and your team are in sharing. Okay.
Thank you.
So, okay, Angeline says she wants to learn. Let me flash her. Okay. So, Angeline here says she wants to learn. Thank you, Angeline.
Okay.
So,
Thank you,
what
Angeline.
you can do, you can actually, let me show you, Angeline. You can actually contact them at this place, right? And afterwards, like I mentioned, I'll just repeat again. I will add in the links inside the comments boxes of this post. Right. And then so that you all who have missed this video just now, you could just capture it and be connected. Otherwise, you can also PM me or Suzanne Loh. Okay. For the links again. Right. Stay connected, stay safe. And I thank you, Suzanne, tonight for your sharing.
Thank
If
you,
there's
Anna.
anything I missed, please let me know. Then we can share it right here as well. Or otherwise, I'll have to invite you over again if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. It's my
Mm-mm.
pleasure. Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Suzanne, and everyone. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night. And if there's no more questions, then Angeline will be in touch with you very, very soon for Suzanne and her
Thank
team.
you.
Okay?
All right.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Yeah.